Try to get my eyes big.
Here we go, Facebook. You guys are in for a treat today. So if you've been following me for a minute, we've been interviewing my guests for the Practice Joy Show, which is the TV show that we're filming this week in Dallas. And Dr. Lisa is one of the people I'm most excited to get to know. So Dr. Lisa, who are you? Where are you? And what do you do?
I'm in Brookline, Massachusetts. I set people free so that their bodies can just kick ass and be optimal. And I specialize in working with pregnant ladies and babies. And I don't know, that's where I am.
And I set people free so that they can what did you say? Kick ass and
Be their optimal selves.
You guys, that is a t-shirt waiting to happen.
You know it to be true.
So what makes you a great ambassador of joy? Because that's what we're talking about. How do you honor joy, facilitate joy, instigate joy, inspire joy in practice?
Okay. Well, I believe that for me, my thermostat is set on joy. So it's hard to analyze it, but community is a huge part of my life. And so in my open adjusting room, just like your open adjusting room behind you, I make sure that people are connected to each other, especially, I don't know how it is where you are, but where I am, we're still in the wake of the pandemic and people are isolated and people have been in fight or flight for 3.5 years. And I try to make sure my office is a place where their bodies can drop out of fight or flight and start to walk on calm feet again. And it's just, I love this place because back when I was a solo mom, this is where I got my community, right? Because I'm with the kid or I'm at the office, with the kid at the office. And now for people in my practice, they just love coming here, finding that the person in the chair next to them has a due date 3 days after and lives 2 blocks away. People just connect in a way that I think supports them to be their best, which includes joy. Right. We're not going to find joy when we're stressed out.
And you guys, when somebody hands you their newborn baby to adjust them, you can't not feel joy. It's the only thing that you feel. It's the only thing that, I mean, I guess some people could feel fear about it, but I think that if you flip fear on its head, you're in a state of love, which in my world is joy. So
yes.
Tell me, what do you think is the missing ingredient to the practitioners, not only chiropractors, but all practitioners who are really missing joy? What is it that they need to be searching for? What's the button that they need to push?
I will not presume to know what's going on in their heads, but I can speak to what happens when I lose my joy. It's when I forget that this is a privilege. When people hand me that baby, I feel love, but I feel privilege. I feel the honor of being able to support that family to take a step in a healthier direction. And when that fails, I sit down and write 5 thank you notes to people in my life, because if I don't remember to be grateful, it's just not going to happen for me.
I was literally talking about that last night. We had a philosophy jam at Dr. Andrew's office, and I was saying every week in the staffless practice world, we send a joy text out, and it's something to spark joy for the week. And one of the things that we sent out this month was go get a happy box of markers and a cute box of cards.
That's what we have in my office.
Desk, right? Yeah. Have an area with stamps and envelopes so that you have no excuses. And every week, spend 10 minutes handwriting a card. And then you go to the mailbox and you mail the letter, and I think it does more for me than it does for the recipient, although
you never know.
Fun. You never know, right? So here's a good question. Ready? Did you want to say something? Go ahead.
I was going to say that we take it one step further. Wednesday is Attitude of Gratitude Day. And I warn them, I'm going to be asking you what you're grateful for. And then if they say something lovely or even just daily, we have a box of cards and stamps and pens for them to send something to someone in their lives. So our record is getting 15 cards out on one day from patients going to random people in the world. So.
And how did you come up with that idea?
Desperation.
Right.
I needed more joy.
By default. Right.
Yeah.
It was something that needed to happen. And that's how so many great ideas for practice support, because whether or not you look at it that way, that's a marketing tactic. Like that's a way for inside. it's inside retention. If you keep the people in your practice happy and you let them know how much you appreciate and love them, don't you think they're going to go tell their neighbor about what you're doing in your office? I promise
Yeah.
you that's true.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's go to this question. If you were to knock on the or tap on the shoulder of you 10 years ago and whisper one thing in your ear about joy, what would it be?
I would probably be, you're doing okay. Relax, enjoy the ride. It would be that. 10 years ago, I was a solo parent of a kid on the spectrum, and life was really wackadoodle. But my practice brought me so much joy, and now I get to give back.
Right. We were talking about the wonderment of practice last night and how to be in a state of wonder, to be in a state of wonder. There has to be a sense of humility about it, because wonder insinuates a sense of awe. Like I'm going to step outside of knowing everything in this moment, of being the person in control in this moment, and be in awe of something as great as a pediatric and prenatal practice, or a dentist practice, or a PT, whatever it is. And if we can find that place of awe in at least once every hour throughout the day, like, wow, isn't the body incredible? Wow, isn't chiropractic incredible? Wow, aren't babies, like, the whole thing is incredible, but we get so wrapped up in the details of all of it that we forget to be in a state of wonder, right? So I think that to take a deep breath and to know it's going to be okay, it's going to work out, and to have curiosity around it.
Wow.
I think that's a big thing for a lot of us. I definitely forget to do that.
Wow. Yeah, without question. I think that wonder is the cousin of curiosity. And I try when I educate my patients to spark curiosity. And with that, then comes the wonder when they realize what is being offered to them and their child in that moment. It's a lovely thing.
How do you educate your patients?
With how would I say this? With clear communication interspersed with lots of jokes, including dad jokes, because that's me. And I don't know how I would break it down. I have an ICPA course about it if you need that, but about how to connect and explain with the parents.
Let's go ahead and do a plug for ICPA. What is ICPA?
ICPA is the International Chiropractic Pediatric Association. It was formed by Larry Webster. Then it was run by Jeannie Ohm. Now Justin Ohm is running it. It just passed 8,000 members, which is extraordinary, all over the world. It provides a great certification, amazing classes, and so many of them are online after the pandemic, and a lot of them are in person. There's ways to get the education you need with the community that you crave. And it is one of my favorite organizations. I can't say enough good things about it. And
they
well
also
organized.
Put out a publication that is like my mom's in my practice wait for the next copy, and everything. I feel like everything that the ICPA does is so relevant. It's not it touches the current demands of what my practice members are asking for, and it ties in. It's interesting for chiropractors to read. It's interesting for patients to read. It's interesting for my OBGYN to read. It has resources for all walks of life. What the ICPA does and is doing and has done in the past is truly, in my opinion, worth a double click. It's worth looking at. And actually, this brings me to the Practice Joy show, which we're going to be filming in Dallas this coming week. We're filming 6 episodes in 2 days, and a huge group of the ICPA teachers are coming on one of my shows. It's the ICPA episode, and we're going to talk all about the joy of practice from an ICPA perspective. And you guys look forward to that episode. Know that there's so much good stuff coming your way. And Dr. Lisa, thanks for your time. I want to be your patient.
I want to be your patient.
Okay.
I will see you next week. I'll see you in Dallas, baby.
I'll see you in Dallas, baby.